I love guns.
One thing at a time.
Did you ask him about guns, or did he just randomly
I
say,
said
I
we
love
should
guns?
bring guns.
He brings guns.
I love guns. Do you? How many guns?
I have a slingshot.
Are you Dennis the Menace?
Yeah.
That actually adds up.
Yeah.
One of those serious ones, like a wrist rocket.
Yeah. I got
Those were
arrested
great.
Those
for
will
it.
kill you, right?
Did I tell you?
No. I mean,
They
You
hurt
sure?
gophers. For gophers.
I got one for that was the first reason I got
Really?
one. A gopher was in my
So
backyard.
many gophers. Yeah.
When?
But did you
So
try
many
hit?
There wasn't that many
Where?
gophers.
I had when I hit their little bodies though, it just bounced right off.
No.
Didn't do anything.
That's so hurtful.
Is
I
this back
know.
at home on the farm?
This is when I lived up in the Adirondacks.
Well, I used to shoot squirrels with a BB gun.
Why were you hitting? Why were you shooting the gophers? What were
Because
they doing?
I didn't have any money, so I had to grow my own food, and so I was making yogurt and kale. And kale, they kept eating the kale, so I had to get the slingshot to hit them with, so they would leave the kale alone.
That's why
Did we
we
talk
shoot
about this? When were
squirrels
you growing
for my
your own
grandfather's.
Well, just
Garden.
for a little bit, I lived up in the mountains. For
You didn't have to grow all your own food. You had
Well,
access
we
to
didn't
some
have any
food.
money.
Were you working?
Yeah, but I was working
On the
yes.
chain gang. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was
working in gopher pelts at the
I was
time.
painting I was working on a craft center. I was doing masonry on a craft center. But then you had to pay the money to get there, and then I had a suspended license, so I kept getting arrested for that. And then I kept having to unsuspend the license, and I needed the truck to get to work, and I'd get stuck in these pickles. And food was.
I'm hungry.
And you also had to go all the way down the mountain if you wanted to get food. And kale and yogurt are perfectly sufficient.
You made your own yogurt?
Yes.
You didn't tell us this the first time you should have opened with that.
There's so
much stuff
Yeah.
too, and it bothered me. Not bothered me a little bit that there's so much stuff we didn't get to, and the comments were like, they didn't even get to this. I'm like, that should have been the lead off.
Yeah.
I forget what they were, but
Who were you living with there? Solo?
Fucking Davy
My-
Crockett.
My ex-boyfriend.
How old were you?
We were 21.
This is after college.
We took a break during college. We also lived in Chicago and did roofing. But then we moved to the Adirondacks so that he could make ceramics. And then we tried selling those, and that didn't work.
So you made your own yogurt.
Yeah, you take a dollop of yogurt.
Sounds like it's like took place in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
then
should hear a story about getting dysentery.
I got Giardia.
What's that?
Giardia.
Well, Giardia was...
I've heard.
That's like an Ozempic, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it sounds
Giardia?
like a medicine they sell you late at night
No, it's
on
where you
TV.
poop and vomit for weeks.
I had that for years.
Yeah, you're eating gopher meat.
Yeah.
It's called alcohol
How do you make
withdrawal.
yogurt?
I've been there.
You put a dollop of yogurt in the bottom of a container, then you fill it up with whole milk, and then you wrap it in a sleeping bag and let it incubate, and you just like put it in a dark, cool space, and it turns into yogurt.
Under
Wait,
what
you
circumstance?
You make the yogurt with yogurt?
Yeah, you need the live cultures from the yogurt. So you get one container, and then you can make 1 billion.
Oh,
Yeah.
we should make our own yogurt on the podcast.
I mean,
That'd be cool.
It would take 5 minutes, and then we'd
How long do you have to wait to let it sit for?
think like a week.
Kevin, under what circumstances?
Would I eat Jordan's homemade yogurt that was in a sleeping bag? Nuclear holocaust would have to happen for me to even start thinking about
was
it.
good.
We'd have to be out of kale and
Dude.
gopher.
My, on the one hand,
and then I'd start fucking thinking about it.
on the one hand, you got me like, want to come over, listen to Steely
Yeah.
Dan? And then she's like, want to make yogurt in my sleeping
Also,
bag?
in the
You're like
same
nightmare creatures.
And that's what you were on. That's what you were living off of.
Yeah, and we would go to this was a good hack. We would build fires. I would put potatoes in the fire with tin foil. and then we'd
Okay.
eat
I'm
those.
on that.
I'm
I'm
on
with
that.
that.
Wait, you would do what?
You take the potatoes and you put them in tin foil, and then you just throw them on the fire, and they bake the potatoes
Yeah.
with some yogurt,
Normal.
basically sour cream, pretty good.
Normal.
And then,
Okay.
Cool.
but when
I'm
we
with
were
you.
traveling, we would go into gas stations, take a hot dog container, put 3 eggs in it, microwave the eggs, eat that. I'm hungry.
What's a hot dog
Talking
container?
about it.
What do you mean, like a
Like, you know at gas stations how they sell hot dogs? So that gives
like
you
the little tray?
The little tray. You put the eggs in there. You
Like
mix
just
it
an
up.
egg, like a
Microwave
mix them up?
eggs is
You put like
so
3
gross.
eggs in
My
it.
Uncle
Yeah,
Clyde
crack
used
them
to
and
do
then
that.
nuke them in the microwave because they have microwaves at a lot of gas stations. And then
They're
you eat
too
it.
fluffy. My
I
Uncle
think those
Clyde used to do
containers
that. It
aren't
wasn't
microwave
good.
safe.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wait, you're worried about you're worried that the eggs are too fluffy out of the gas station microwave?
No, they're good, fluffy.
No, they're
What the
not.
fuck is
Are
wrong
they
with
too
you?
pasture
chewy.
raised?
You mean they're?
Would you
they're
bring
too
your own
gummy.
eggs, or would you buy eggs there?
You get it at everything's at the gas station.
Well, you know, you keep
That's
a
a
chicken in your
self-sustained
yeah,
economy.
yeah.
You know, at the time we were keeping chickens in our pockets. So you tickle them on the neck, they make an egg. You put it in the gas station
How
hot
many
dog
gopher
container, and there you go,
pelts
it's
does this cost
souffle.
you?
Yeah, really.
That's crazy.
I just picture you walking into a Sunoco. I'm here to barter.
Yeah.
I got,
Well,
got
how
some
you-
yogurt cultures.
How you get it done is you get your squirrel that you carry in your shoulder to distract.
Yeah.
I'm Jordan. I'm a gopher hunter.
Yeah.
Those tigers, they're friendly. Don't worry about those.